A warm welcome to this episode of Service to Humanity. My name is Habiba Zakzak, your anchor. On this episode, we shall take a break from our review series to bring you reports from the graduation of beneficiaries who went through training under the Npower N-knowledge category as coordinated by the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. The trainees who have been in camp were taken through trainings in hardware and software design and repairs. The minister was in Abuja for the graduation of this batch, while other centers around geopolitical zones also had their graduation ceremonies. In addition to this, we shall bring you an update on the alternate school program as disclosed by the minister, Sadiya Umar Farouk. Details of these stories when the program commences fully. Do stay tuned.
I tell you, anytime we're not producing, the fish farmers suffer. The people we engage suffer. The people we feed, that we give our fish heads to, they feel it. I'll only beg the government to continue with this and make it run more.
We used to have children crying, parents will be chasing them to come to school, and they will be at the gate, they will be crying, they will hold on to the plate, they will not want to come into the gate.
When they are not giving the food, the attendance was very low.
Now the children are always fit and healthy because of the food they eat.
To make them attend class every day.
I eat rice, meat and carrots.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the federal government for the feeding program.
Before we take on our major stories for the week, let's take news of recent happenings from the ministry as well as from our agencies. Our management diary is up next. Do stay tuned.
This is a very successful program, and it's a program that has touched many lives.
The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has said that the ministry has recorded huge success in training over 1.5 million Nigerian youths in different skills through the Npower program. She was speaking on the sidelines of the graduation ceremony for 3,300 beneficiaries of the N-knowledge component of the Npower, which held at the Public Service Institute of Nigeria in Abuja. Sadiya Umar Farouk said that the Nigerian youth will now be economically independent through the training.
We have recorded tremendous success, and this I can say without any fear of contradiction. People who had no hope before now have been given a leaf of life and becoming very confident, and they are becoming very successful in their life endeavors, especially the youth of whom this program has been targeted at. And people have been trained in different skills, and they have gained some level of experiences and expertise in these skills. Some of them have become entrepreneurs on their own since this program started in 2016, while others have been gainfully employed.
She added that the ministry will put measures in place to monitor the progress of the trainees.
We have a very robust monitoring and evaluation mechanism in place where we're going to monitor their progress, each and every one of them that is onto the National Social Investment Program, and that M&E mechanism is very effective, is very robust, because we know where to track them, we have their data, we know where they will be, and then we'll be recording as successes or otherwise.
Also speaking in an interview, the coordinator of the National Social Investment Program, Engineer Umar Binder, said, after the students leave camp, they will be deployed to various stations for apprenticeship.
They have done their training. They are now going to enter the next phase of the program, which is all these thousands of people will be attached to practitioners nationwide. So this is a very, very practical training that is not theoretical at all. You are given training, you are given the tools of trade, and you are going to be attached to practitioners. You can't fail.
The N-knowledge component of the Npower is a skills acquisition training for youth to empower them with skills in hardware and software design and repairs, as well as animation, script writing and video editing. Meanwhile, 105 beneficiaries of the N-knowledge training program of the federal government from the Southwest Zone have been empowered with laptops and workstations. This is upon completion of their 3-month in-house training, which held at the Olabisi Onabanjo University, Ikenne campus in Ogun State. The youth were drawn from Ekiti, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Osun and Oyo State under the National Social Investment Program of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, and were trained in 3 key areas of software development, technology, hardware maintenance, and script writing. The Southwest coordinator of the N-knowledge expansion training program, Mr. Henry Olofinlade, while presenting the empowerment items to the youth, urged them to put the training into use to enhance their standard of living and become employers of labor. The N-knowledge expansion training is part of the federal government social investment program aimed at lifting Nigerians out of poverty.
The program is still service to humanity. Last week, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, gave an update on the alternate school program as an intervention to curb the problem of out-of-school children in Nigeria. How did it start? What has been achieved? And which way forward? These were some of the questions she answered in an interview with pressmen. Let's take excerpts from that interview.
Nigeria has a high number of out-of-school children. Statistics has it that there are over 15 million out-of-school children in Nigeria. This number is unacceptable and can be described as a humanitarian crisis, hence the need for the federal government to address the problem through humanitarian interventions.
These children are everywhere in the country, contrary to the general belief that it's only a section of the country that has this out of these school children. And these children, it is very alarming and it's really beyond just a schooling issue. If nothing is done, this is a serious disaster and a social time bomb in waiting. And also recognizing the environments and the conditions in which these children are requires very serious disaster management and delivery of humanitarian services. So this is why the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is leading the design and implementation of the desired solutions.
To curb this menace, the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development presented this concern to the President and came up with an initiative called the Alternate School Program.
We recognize this need and we packaged a memo to His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari back in 2020, intimating him on the need to address this issue of a very serious disaster and humanitarian catastrophe if not handled. And I'm happy today to report that His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari approved that proposal and also set up an all-stakeholder presidential steering committee to implement that memo. The alternate school program is an innovative initiative aimed to take limited basic education and humanitarian service to the children in non-formal education systems and other unique environments as well in our communities. And this initiative requires that any location, for instance, Quranic school, market places, dump sites, mechanic villages, etc., can be used for the delivery of limited formal subjects.
Through this initiative, 4 core subjects will be taught to students. They are math, English, basic skills, and social studies for a maximum of 2 hours a day.
Also, we were to identify the malams, the shop owners, and dump site managers where these children can be guarded and managed so that volunteers under the Npower program can be deployed as instructors, which is an indigent ingredient of this program. And these children also can be as such informal space which will be data captured and enrolled onto the homegrown school feeding program that we are running, where they can be fed 1 meal per day. This will ensure that they are available to be engaged.
After the presentation of the initiative, President Muhammadu Buhari approved and established a steering committee to implement the initiative. The committee, which spans across various relevant stakeholders, has the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development presiding. Other members are Minister of Education, Co-Chair, Minister of State, Education, Senior Special Assistant on Sustainable Development Goals, Minister of State, Budget and National Planning, Chairman, Northern Governors Forum, Executive Secretary, Universal Basic Education Board, Director General, NYSC, National President, Association of Local Government, Representatives, United Nations International Children Emergency Fund. The committee had specified terms of reference.
We also have terms of reference, amongst which is the refine and focus division of the initiative. We are also to ensure engagement and effective uptake of the alternate school program initiative across the country. We are also to review all and approve all work being done, implementation plan, expected deliverables, and so on and so forth. We're also to undertake any other task that can enhance the effective delivery of this initiative.
The minister explained that various strategies have been identified for the implementation and smooth running of this initiative. Basic learning tools will also be made available to ensure easy learning for the children.
We have identified 2 hubs per state and in the federal capital, totaling 74 to commence the program implementation. We have also established boreholes and toilet facilities to all the identified hubs, just to raise the humanity level of the children to have access to potable water and also sanitation facilities. We have also acquired carefully designed movable sheds to serve as teaching and learning environments at the hubs. We have also acquired appropriate teaching and learning materials, including a number of ICT-based innovations for teachings and learning aids. We have also provided sitting facilities in the sheds to model school environment for the teaching and learning. We have mainstreamed the Npower N-teach volunteers who are serving as teachers and trainers at the hubs. We have also adapted the National Homegrown School Feeding Program to provide 2 quality meals per day throughout the week at all hubs. We have also, we are in the process to extend our loans, as I mentioned, and cash transfer projects facilities to the parents of these children or caregivers.
A technical committee has already been established to set the pace for implementation.
I'm glad that we have at least started and we are making progress. And I can also say that we have achieved, amongst others, we have established a robust technical working group to set the pace on the technicalities and field deployment. We have also designed a limited scope of projects which are being gradually implemented.
The alternate school program is one tool the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs is hoping will help to address the issue of out-of-school children in Nigeria.
You're still watching Service to Humanity, a program of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs designed to bring you updates on its activities as it carries out its mandate of coordinating humanitarian interventions of the federal government. Like I mentioned at the beginning, beneficiaries under the N-knowledge component of the Npower graduated after 3 months of training in animation, script writing, as well as software and hardware repair and design. Hopefully, this youth will help provide the needed skills needed in the information and communication technology sector. Our crew was at the Public Service Institute of Nigeria in Abuja, where beneficiaries from the North Central Zone were housed. The minister, Sadiya Umar Farouk, was there to perform the ceremony as well as urge the trainees to be diligent in their future endeavors. From Abuja, we shall go to Kano, where a similar event took place. Keep watching.
The Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development has graduated a new batch of 3,300 N-knowledge trainees under the National Social Investment Program across the country. Speaking during the event, which held in Abuja, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, noted that the ministry is committed to ensuring that the strategic objective of the National Social Investment Program is achieved and sustained.
We have put in so much effort, so much energy, so much government resources to see that you are trained and you are supported so that you can be useful to yourselves and to the society. In your own interest, that you utilize this opportunity given to you. You don't know what tomorrow will be.
Farouk added that the trainees must make use of the privilege the training offers so as to be economically independent.
This is your opportunity. You must make the maximum and optimal use of it. You must make the maximum and optimal use of it so that very soon you can be economically independent. You'll be able to fend for yourselves and members of your families, and you'll be able to contribute your own quota into the development of our dear nation, Nigeria.
Speaking earlier, National Coordinator of the National Social Investment Program, Dr. Umar Binder, who represented the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Nasir Sanugwarzo, stated that this ceremony, which was replicated across the nation, has trained young entrepreneurs and experts in the area of ICT. He urged them to practice their newly learned skills to make themselves better.
They have given you very concentrated technical training on the 3 levels of hardware management, software evolution, and then creativity. Many of you are now literally semi-experts, but by the time you do your attachments, you will become experts, you will employ yourselves, you will employ 2 or 3 other people, and by that you would have answered the call of Mr. President of lifting Nigerian youth out of poverty. We need entrepreneurship. We need entrepreneurs. We need young people who are creative. We need young people who are savvy with ICT.
Zainab Sabo. High point of the ceremony was the presentation of starter packs, laptop computers, and certificates to the trainees. Some of the trainees of the program lauded the ministry's efforts and promised to put in their best and make good use of the training they have received.
We learned a lot of things things we didn't know before now. It opened our eyes to see a lot of things. At least we can stand boldly and tell people, teach people the things we know. Yes, the program has really been helpful. Mine is particularly on animation, but we didn't just learn about animation. We learned about entrepreneurship, communication, design, and after now, we are not planning to keep it to ourselves. We want to replicate the knowledge we acquire here. We want to replicate it out there so that others will know or will learn from what we've learned here.
I'm very happy to have this so that I can be able to go and teach my youngest ones, because in our area we lack people that repair system. I'm happy to have this privilege to attend this program. So by this, I'm not going to sell it, because it's very important to my life and my society. A lot of people are going to work with me so that I can be able to make them self-reliant.
Away from Abuja, beneficiaries under the Northwest Zone who were trained in Kano also had their graduation ceremony. The trainees were trained in animation, script writing, hardware maintenance, and software training. Each trainee received a laptop as part of the graduation package. On behalf of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, the representative of the minister congratulated the trainees on their graduation and urged them to make maximum use of the knowledge they have acquired in the course of the training.
I'm sure the essence of you being here has been achieved. You are here because you want to learn skill, you want to be perfect on your skills so that you can go back to your respective communities, to your respective societies, and the society will benefit from you. We are expecting within the next couple of time, the next couple of weeks, months or years, you shall also be an employer of labor. So I want to say the skills that you acquire here, please don't just go and dump it. Try and continue using it so that others can benefit from you.
They were also urged to make it a priority to pass on the knowledge to others who could not make it to the training. Other speakers also called on the trainees to make use of the starter packs they have received for the purpose it is meant for and not to sell them off. Training manager of the program, Aliyu Kabara, who spoke in an interview, commended the trainees for making the training a success. He thanked the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs for offering the opportunity for students to learn skills which will change the lives of many youths in the country.
I want them to utilize what they got. They come here, we train them, now they have skills on the various training. That is hardware, repairs, script writing, and animation. So I will advise them to use these skills for their future.
Trainees of the program thanked the ministry for the opportunity to learn new skills. They promised to make practical use of the knowledge acquired in order to better their lives and their community.
After we finished this training today, we have already established a group yesterday. We are going to be create our own teams. In the team there will be script writers, there will be people who will be doing the animation, and there will be the storytellers, there will be people that will create the stories for us. We are going to, in the end of the day, maybe in 2 years, 3 years, I don't know when, but we want to create an animation what should I say? I don't know how to call it, but it is like an association for Africa, Ariwa youths.
This program, it teaches me a lot about the establishment of youth empowerment, so that the youth will not be idle and youth will be self-creative and self-employment. So due to this program, I have learned how to work on animation, how to edit a story that will be of a benefit to the society. and also why to me.
I have learned so many things for script writing. Now I can write script by myself, so I have achieved many things.
This is where we draw the curtains on the program Service to Humanity. We say congratulations to all beneficiaries of the N-knowledge training across 6 geopolitical zones of the country, wishing them success in their new ventures. And for the rest of us, let's do our own little part in rendering service to humanity. See you next week, and thanks for watching.